Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing Singapore, and I brought up Singapore in a prior video with respect to this overall topic because Singapore seems to be taking a more nuanced approach to this overall situation. And a recent article from the Bangkok Post, that's bangkokpost.com, article is titled, "Singapore Prepares for Long-Term Life and Death with COVID." Quoting directly, its medical experts say residents may see hundreds of deaths each year from endemic COVID-19, similar to the flu. That pragmatic approach could set an example for other countries looking to exit lockdowns as they ramp up their own inoculation programs. Quoting directly and quoting within the article, "The only way to have no deaths from a disease anywhere in the world is to eliminate the disease altogether, and that has only been done for smallpox," end quote, said Paul Tambia, president of the Asia Pacific Society of Clinical Microbiology and Infection. Quoting further, "While the idea of hundreds of COVID deaths seems shocking compared to the deaths so far and worth taking efforts to prevent, it is on par with influenza, which society hardly cares about," said Alex Cook, an infectious disease modeling expert at the National University of Singapore. So again, Singapore seems to be taking a much more nuanced approach to dealing with this. And I think one of the reasons is Singapore is acutely aware of its economy. Singapore is not in, without its economic might, if you will, Singapore has kind of a precarious geopolitical position in the world. Not to get too deep into Singaporean history, but I mean, Singapore became a powerhouse in finance and in the economic spheres, as a result of keeping a close eye on maintaining a healthy economy. So I think that maybe they're a little bit more proactive in maintaining a sort of cost-benefit approach to the analysis of how to deal with this. But I found this really interesting. Again, that's Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, "Singapore Prepares for Long-Term Life and Death with COVID." A lot of interesting insight in there. And we certainly, as I've said in other videos on this channel, the economic fallout caused by this overall situation is really, there's no other word but devastating. I mean, the situation is not good. And again, there's no blame here. It's no one's fault. It's like trying to blame someone for the wind blowing or for a weather occurrence. In many ways, I view disease as something akin to weather. It happens and you just have to deal with it. That said, what's happened to date has happened, but maybe it's time to start looking at things from a slightly different angle in order to try and figure out a strategy and methodology to get through this so everybody comes out of this as best we all can.